Alrighty, time to finally see how to pronounce this stupid name. Dr. Uitro. Where? Alright. Alright. Uiro, all these things call him Dr. Uiro. Here we go. Alright, in Japanese. Forward. Dr. Uiro? Hey, all you super players out there. Ben Lodes, aka 5 Buck Lunch, coming at you with a Dr. Uiro. Uiro? I actually went on YouTube and looked it up so I'd stop saying the wrong thing. Yeah, least threatening name ever, turns out. I thought it was like Ultro or something awesome, but no, it's Dr. Uiro. So I could see why they changed it for the English version. Anyways, the leader is Dr. Uiro and Dr. Kochin. You know, I didn't actually look up the second Doctor. Why are there so many weird names in this deck? Anyways, when you place this card in your leader area, you can play one Dr. Uiro's Lab from your deck and activate it. When this card attacks a leader card, look it up to top 7 for a 1 Frenzied Warrior card among them. Add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. When you have 4 or more energy, or if your life is 3 or more less, you may choose up to 2 of your energy, switch them to active mode, and flip this card over. So this leader is pretty strong. You get your lab, which we'll go over in a minute. That's your win condition. You get that for free. And then a good chunk of your cards in your deck are Frenzied Warriors, including your super combo, which is really nice. So this leader can actually search super combos from the top 7. And then it's really, really good because his awakening is 4 energy or 3 or less life. So you get to, if your opponent tries to stall you out, you can still awaken, which is a really, really good thing in this deck. It means you don't have to play self-awakeners for a control deck, which is really nice. On the awaken side, Dr. Uiro, the Evil Scientist. When this card attacks, draw 1 card. Once per turn, choose 1 card in your hand, place it in your drop area, choose up to 1 keyword skill on one of your opponent's battle cards, negate it for the duration of the turn. Active main, if Dr. Uiro's Lab in your battle area has 17 or more cards under it, you win the game. So basically, our goal of the deck is to get 17 cards under Lab and activate main to win the game. The reason he has the discarded card to get rid of a keyword is so that you can get rid of barrier on your opponent's cards and take them with lab, which we'll see in a second. So the first card I actually want to go over is the lab, the card you start with in play with the leader. Permanent, your battle cards can't be switched to rest mode by your opponent's card skills, and you can only use blue or green card skills to place cards under this card. Permanent, this card can't be removed from a battle area by your opponent's card skills. Active main 2, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less and place it under this card. So basically, a couple key things with this card. It can't be removed in any way by your opponent, which is very important because if they removed it, even if you were to somehow play it again, you wouldn't have any cards under it, so it basically removed your win condition. So yeah, your opponent can't get rid of this card. It stops all of your blockers from getting switched to rest mode, which is very important because this deck is all about putting blockers in play and being able to defend yourself that way. And then for 2 energy, as many times as you want, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost 4 or less, and place it under the lab. So not only can it remove smaller threats, but it also accelerates your win condition because it goes under lab and it counts towards your 17. This is what I mean by the leader being able to discard a card to remove barrier. So you can remove barrier from their smaller stuff and then just immediately put it under lab. Starting off, we have Kishimi, Living Weapon. 1 cost, 5k combo. Auto, when you play this card, place the top card of your deck under Dr. Utro's Lab in your battle area, then draw 1 card. So this is just something we'll be putting in randomly on turns when we have extra energy in order to accelerate our win con, and it draws a card as well. This is also one of the Frenzied Warriors. Bioman, Living Weapon. 1 drop, 5k combo. Auto, when you play this card, look at the top 7 cards from the top of your deck. Choose 1 Dr. Uiro or Dr. Kochin from them, add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. This is also a Frenzied Warrior, and this is what we're going to use to get our bigger win condition and type doctors, including the big 6-drop Dr. Uiro and the 3-drop Dr. Uiro. It also is very good because it gets the 2 Dr. Kochins that are also very good, this one and this one. So there's a ton of targets you're always going to hit. Rise of Dr. Uiro. When you activate this card, you can't activate it for another one for the duration of the turn. If your leader card is Dr. Uiro card, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose one of either Doctor, add them to your hand, shuffle your deck. Then if you add a card to your hand, choose one green energy and switch it to active mode. So I only play 2 because I really prefer the Bioman. It doesn't untap the energy, but you get to do top 7 instead of top 5. And you can't miss. The problem with the Rise is that if you miss, you don't get to untap energy. So you just paid an energy for nothing. I still have 2 in there because getting to your 6 drop is part of your win condition and you really need it. But yeah, that's why I rely more on this than on this. For Whisa's Coercion, unfortunately our leader is green. If it was blue, this deck would actually probably be close to tier 1 because you get to play Dimension Magic. But you need some negates in order to stop your opponent from just wrecking you, even through all your blockers. So this is just kind of a backup plan, and it keeps your energy untapped, which is nice. For Android 17, Protector of the Wildlife, 2 cost blue-green, 1 cost 10k combo. Energy Exhaust, if you have a blue-green multicolor card in your energy, negate this card's energy exhaust. Auto once per turn, when your opponent combos, choose up to one other combo, place at the bottom of the owner's deck, negate this skill for the duration of the game. So mostly this is going to be played as a multicolor energy. We can play untapped in our energy zone. In a pinch against like apes and stuff, we can also put this on the board, but since they can't tap any of our cards with their ape, it's not really that big a deal for them to be playing it. So excuse me, for the most part, we're just going to use it for extra energy. It's also important because we need a fair amount of multicolor energies because we're playing Android 16 Energy Amplification. 2 cost blue-green, 1 cost 10k combo. If you have a blue-green multicolor card in your energy, when you play this card from your hand, place the top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode, and you can't play battle cards with power between 30k and 35k for the duration of the game. So nothing in this deck is between 30 and 35k naturally. Our big Dr. Uiro is 25k. So this card is just a natural include because we want to accelerate to be playing our big Dr. Uiros and get lots of cards under our field. And so yeah, so we need to play a lot of multicolor energies because really we want to be playing a multicolor energy turn 1 so we can get our deck going and we don't have to worry about playing more of those later in the game. Abrifa Living Weapon. This is just a super combo that is also a Frenzied Warrior, so it's nice. You can search it with your leader, and it's just a regular 4 or less life draw card. Super combo. Mitsukatsune Living Weapon. This card's actually really cool. It's a 2-drop, 5k for 0, blocker, 5k power. When this card activates blocker, place the top card of your deck under Dr. Uiro's lab in your battle area, and this card can't be KO'd in battle by battle cards with original power of 15k or less for the duration of the battle. So it's really cool. So you can block a card. Doesn't work on leaders, unfortunately. Block any card 15k or less, and not only do you get to put a card from your top of your deck under a lab to accelerate your win con, but it also doesn't die. So it's just a free, unkillable blocker. And it's also original attack, which is really important. They can't just combo higher to kill it. Really cool, really solid card. For Dr. Cochin, Nefarious Scientist, 2-drop, 5k combo, 5k power. Only one of these can be played in your battle area at a time, and it reduces the Frenzied Warrior cards in your hands cost by 1. The big thing that it reduces, so it's 1 non-specific, so you can't make your 1-drops cost nothing, unfortunately. But it helps, it makes your Mitsukatsune cost 1, which is really good. And later it'll make your Frenzy Warrior Piccolo cost 3, which is actually really good too. When you play this card, look at the top 7 cards at the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Frenzied Warrior card from among them, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. Then choose up to 1 Frenzied Warrior card in your hand with energy cost of 2 or less and play it. So it's really cool. So not only does it search top 7 to get any Frenzied Warrior, so you can grab your super combos, things like that, but then it lets you play one for free, which is also really good. So usually you're going to search top 7, grab a super combo or a Mitsukatsune if you don't have one yet, and then play the Mitsukatsune. So you get that and the Dr. Cochin for 2 energy, which is really nice. One important thing to note, that is if your Dr. Uiro is unawakened, unawakened, there we go. You want to attack with it first and then play your Cochin, because this will let you search a Frenzied Warrior, which gives you more options for what you're going to put in play. Madness Wand, Dr. Cochin. 2 cost, blue-green, 1 cost 10k, 5k power. Blocker, Energy Exhaust, Revival, blue-green. And for those who don't know, Revive is when this card is KO'd, put this card, play this card, negate the skill for the duration of the game by discarding either a blue and a green or a blue-green card from your hand. Auto, choose one card in your hand and place it under Dr. Uiro's lab in your battle area. When you play this card, draw one card. So basically, you play this card. It's a 5k blocker with Revival. And when you play it, you get to choose a card in your hand, put it under lab, and draw a card. And one important thing to note about that is that also triggers after you revive it. So if they attack you, you can go block. All right, pitch a Android 16 I don't need. Bring it back, put a card under lab, draw a card, and now I have another blocker right away too. So it essentially blocks twice each turn if you needed to. Really solid, really strong card, and it's a blue-green, which we need. You won't be playing this card as much, but it's a really good utility card against rush decks, so it gives you 2 blockers on turn 2 if you need it. Gigantic Bomber, Dr. Uiro. 3 cost blue-green, 1 cost 10k combo, blocker, revive blue-green. Auto, when you play this card, choose up to 2 battle cards in your opponent's drop area. Place those cards under this card or Dr. Uiro's lab in your battle area. So this is another blocker revival. So essentially it gets to block twice. And when you play it, you get to choose 2 battle cards in your opponent's drop area and place it under your lab. So we only play 3 of these because, unfortunately, if certain decks don't get a lot of battle cards to the drop area, and it's not like you're attacking their leaders, so you're not going to be forcing them to combo cards or anything. So a lot of times this card won't be as good as a lot of the other cards. However, in the card decks it's good against, it's really good against it. Being able to take things like the Goku and Vegeta BR cards in Ramp Gogeta and put them under your lab so that their Veku can't go off as easily. Grabbing things from graveyard-oriented decks like Wish decks, things like that, it's very, very strong against. So we still play a couple of these, even though it's probably not quite as good as some of the other ones. A lot of times Madness Wand is just going to be better in terms of utility. One thing to note about this, though, is it does put 2 cards under, and every time it comes back, if they have cards in their discard, it puts 2 more cards under. So this can actually accelerate your win con very quickly, because a lot of the other cards only put 1 card under. Dr. Uiro, Destructive Villain, 4-cost, 5k combo. Villainous, which we aren't going to use at all in this deck. When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your Frenzied Warrior cards in your drop area, add it to your hand. Then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Active main, 2 green, choose 1 Dr. Coaching card in your battle area and KO it. Play this card from your hand. So basically, we can play this card in our hand for free by KOing any of our Dr. Coachins, which... So, for example, we could do Madness Wand and bring it back with our Revival if we wanted to, or we could do this one as well. And then it just KOs something and grabs a Frenzied Warrior from our discard pile. Pretty simple. This is mostly in there so you have the power to KO some things. So the deck doesn't do a lot of KOing, especially of big cards. Smaller cards you can just put under lab, but for big cards you kind of need a way out it. Especially good against green Broly, or big red Broly and stuff like that. Also, you can grab back super combos, which is pretty cool. It's not a lot of decks have that utility. Frenzied Warrior Piccolo. So this is another Frenzied Warrior. 4-cost, 5k combo. Deflect, Auto Bond 3. When you play this card, choose 1. Your opponent sends 2 cards from their hand and places them under Dr. Uiro's lab. Or your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and sends it to the warp. The warp effect is basically if you're playing this in a not Dr. Uiro and Cochin deck, so you can still take cards out of their hand. Every time you're going to be picking the first one. So basically, your opponent just picks 2 cards in their hand, places it underneath your lab. So this is another card that accelerates by 2, which is really nice. We're trying to get to... so with the 17, what we're basically trying to do in this deck is go to 11... I'm sorry, 12, go to 7. You need to get 7 cards under your warp, and then you play 2 of these 2 turns in a row and win. So, with using other cards, we need to get to 7. That's like the magic number by turn 5. One important thing to note is since he's a Frenzied Warrior, you can play him for 3 if you have this Dr. Cochin in play. And if you have this Dr. Cochin in play, you probably already have another card in play because he puts one in play for free, meaning you have your Bond 3 for your Piccolo effect. So yeah, that's pretty much. It's nice that he has Deflect, so you can't get Bloodlust or anything like that. We also went over Lab. So here's the deck's big card, Dr. Uiro Destruction Beam. 6 card cost 5k combo, blocker, Deflect. When you play this card, choose 1. Place the top 6 cards of your deck under Lab, or place 6 cards from your drop area and place them under Lab. Auto once per turn when this card activates blocker, switch it to active mode. So this is the big win con. like I said, ideally, you're going to want to get to 7, play this on turn 5 because we've accelerated with our Android 16 at some point in the game, and then play this, use this card to live to turn 6, and you drop another one to get to 17, and you win the game. We have to play 4 of these because when we play our first one, we want to already ideally have the second one in our hand already so that when we put the top 6 cards of our deck under our lab, we don't just lose all our win condition cards. It is possible to still win against some decks if you can only play one of these, but you want to play 2. It also helps you survive very easily because it's 2 blocks, and getting rid of a 6-drop 25k is actually pretty difficult for a lot of decks. It's pretty hard to minus that much. It also has Deflect, which is really nice, so that our opponent can't just negate it with Frost Deadly Poison or Bloodlust or something like that. And it also can't be tapped by our opponent's effects because we have our lab. That effect actually is really important because there's a lot of decks that be like, all right, well, I'm just going to Champa your counter Champa your Dr. Uiro, and now I can't block at all. You're going to get your 2 blocks off for the most part with this. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Our ideal curve is going to be turn 1, play a energy tap, turn 2, play Android 16, and then from turn 3 we start playing things like Dr. Kochen of both kinds. We play Gigantic Bomber depending on what deck we're playing against, and we start sneaking in our little 1-drops. Like I said, we're trying to get to 7 underneath lab by turn 5, and then turn 5 we drop Uiro, and then turn 6 we drop Uiro and instant win the game. The deck seems pretty gimmicky, but it's actually way better than it really should be. It's fast enough where it can fight things like androids, and against more control decks like androids, like the thing about androids is, so even if they get rid of a chunk of your energy, which you play a lot of multicolors, so you're going to have some energy left, you can still do things like playing Uiros and playing lower things to get those last few win con cards and win the game. And it's not like they're going to pressure you. Against Baby, all these blockers are really useful. And if they're minusing your guys, you can bring them back with, what is it called? You can bring them back with your revives. I need to playtest more against Baby because the deck is really fast, which is scary. But you do have a lot of defensive tools that help you against it as well. Also, the ability to grab their little guys. You want to, if possible, you want to grab the little guys and put them underneath. A lot of your side deck choices, too, are going to go into that, like playing the new green counter, possibly. The problem with playing that, though, is since you don't get below 4 life very quickly, it gets kind of iffy. But playing things like green Vegeta counter could be a very big thing. Like on turn 2, if you're playing against Baby, instead of playing accelerating right away, you could leave it up and play, intending to play a counterplay on their like big combo. But all around, yeah, the deck is way better than it should be, and it's a lot of fun. It's pretty crazy to play something weird like this with an alt win condition and have it actually be reasonably viable. Is it tier 1? I don't know, probably not. It's close. Like I said, it's way better than it should be, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, put it together. It's also super cheap, I'd like to point out, for being a new deck. Both of your like super rare, all your super rares are under $5 right now. You got to get Android 16s, which I think are like $10, but this card is going to be played in a ton of decks anyways, so you might want to pick up a set. But yeah, deck's super fun. Go out there, try it out. If you have any ideas, I'm actually really open to ideas for this because I like this deck a lot and I'd like to work on improving it. But yeah, go out there, play some super, have some fun, and please, if you have any ideas for this deck, put it down in the comments because I want to improve this deck. This deck is super fun. Go out there, like, subscribe, and have some fun.